And this is one that I got to say, I don't hear people talking about this group enough as a battle. But it's going to be a battle. And there's 4 names in this battle, too. It's a decent, battle here overall.
It's a Royal Rumble.
The battle, well, not quite that. There's like 30 people. And I don't know. I haven't watched wrestling in forever. But there's like 30. There's 4 people in this. Yeah, there's 4 people in this. And there's only one of them that I would sit there and say he's going to make it. That's it.
I mean, that's because the other 3 are going to go over the turnbuckle.
Exactly. Only one man can be last standing. It's the backup linebacker position there. And you got, obviously, Isaiah Simmons. You got Darrian Beavers.
Save the Beavers.
You got Matthew Adams. You got Carter Coughlin. And obviously the starter is going to be Bobby Okereke, Micah McFadden. That's pretty obvious. 100%. Isaiah Simmons is the one guy you'd sit there and say, you know what, he's probably safe. He's definitely going to make the the roster there. But what's weird is they signed him so late in the offseason, guys. If he was a priority, that would have been done so much sooner. It really would have been.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like it was a holdout over money. Like, there was no money. Nobody's going to pay him a lot of money. It just, to me, it seemed like the Giants weren't so sure he's going to fit in this new defense. And we don't know because we don't know what the new defense is going to look like. But that's what I look at.
Yeah.
And he does pair well with Micah McFadden. He does mask some of the deficiencies that McFadden has on passing downs, and he works well with him for that reason there. But the main issue is how are they going to fit him into this new defense? He's essentially 100% positionless. This has been the issue basically his entire career. Remember, guys, when he was drafted, he's a special player. Doesn't matter. You can't figure out where to put him. Just put him somewhere. He'll excel. He's been put a lot of places on 2 different teams now. Has not excelled. Giant fans were ecstatic when we traded for him. And don't get me wrong, I still think it was a good trade. But Rob and I were here like, really? Like, you guys think this guy's going to be an all-pro? Like, he hasn't done crap in Arizona. Why would you think that?
Yeah.
Like, people are talking like we just went ahead and, got the greatest player on the defensive side of the ball. It's like we got TJ Watt or something here. Like, we got a guy who failed in Arizona. Let's be honest, if he failed. And he couldn't even get a starting job last year. Micah McFadden beat him out for a starting job. Micah McFadden, we like him. We like the way he progressed last year. When you're losing the job to Micah McFadden, though, guys, that's not a good sign. And the Giants don't know how to even put it. They put him as a linebacker / safety on the roster right now. They don't know where to put him. They're going to put him somewhere. We're calling him a linebacker because that's the position he plays mostly. But it's like, that's, to me, as much as he's the closest thing to a sure thing in this group, can we guarantee that?
I mean, no, because like we said, he let McFadden pass him by when he should have been a stud. Like, not to get too far into advance, like, he could let that happen to another player that we're going to talk about fairly soon.
He's too weak to be a linebacker. He's too slow to be a defensive back.
Correct. He's either got to, get the need for speed or start, hitting the weight.
I got the need.
The need for speed. Whoosh.
Yeah, there's drug programs that help you, Rob, when you have these issues. There's no shame.
1-800 what?
This is a safe place.
Hey, we don't got something out there.
So you got Simmons there. You got Darrian Beavers, who we all know looked great in the 2022 preseason before he tore his ACL. Spent most of last year, obviously, the practice squad, though. He's a full year now recovered from that surgery, though. So we've talked about it before, but the first year, you're not quite yourself. Some guys are. Don't get me wrong. Like, remember Adrian Peterson came back from almost 2,000 yards. I mean, but that's not normal. Nothing Adrian Peterson does is normal. Mentally, physically.
Off the field, on the field.
Yeah, child raising wise. I mean, nothing this is normal. But you just gave me that look like you did not bring that up. I did.
I had a few comments, but I was going to keep them to myself.
But now that he's a year removed, can he be that guy again like he was prior to the surgery? Where he looks really, really good, and you go, you know what? Maybe he bypasses, Isaiah Simmons for that, third linebacker spot at that point. We don't know. Maybe he proves he can do something on special teams, and one of the guys we talk about in a minute go, maybe we don't need you after all. Like, there's these options. Darrian Beaver is really the wild card in this whole thing and how he plays. Then you got Matthew Adams and Carter Coughlin, who we're going to kind of group together here because, let's be honest, it's the same player. Very good on special teams. Do not provide much on defense, if anything at all. We talked about it. Carter Coughlin hasn't seen the defensive side of the ball in years.
Yeah, we're surprised we kept him last year.
I know. I'm shocked we re-signed him this year. Even I'm just very confused overall because he was on social media talking about goodbye to the Giants and stuff, and then they bring him back. So, like I said, Beavers really is the whole wild card in this whole thing. If he's healthy and he looks as good as he did that rookie year before he got hurt, if there was a whole wrench in this depth chart,
it really does.
Yeah, like I said, he could bypass Simmons for that third spot. He could be on special teams, and you go, maybe we don't keep Adams and Coughlin. Maybe we keep Adams because he's better on a little bit better on special teams, and also will play at least a little bit of defense, even though he doesn't play it very well. There's these options here, and let's say maybe even you look at it and go, if Simmons is in a fit for this defense, you're going to try to force feed him to this defense. And maybe Beavers is that third guy, and you keep Adams and Coughlin. There's so many options with this whole thing. Like, none of these guys are safe.
No,
this is like Survivor here.
Survivor.
Yes.
Hey, listen. Maybe Beavers could bring back
Darrian Beavers mentioned, yes, sir, I haven't lost hope in Beavers. We're still hoping.
Listen, I'm bringing back the hashtag Save the Beavs.
Of course, John comes in with the he said Beaver. We have the most mature audience.
The worst part is that's a cat.
Let's say a cat with a birthday cake on him on the top. What's going on at the top of the cat? I'm very confused. But yeah, I mean, like I said, anything can happen with this group. I think it's interesting to watch. It can be interesting to see what happens. I think that this is a group that, again, you don't hear talk about it. This is going to be one to watch. This is going to be one to keep an eye on, specifically when the defensive, teams come out there on special teams. That points out wrong Beaver, John. If it helps, Dash, he's a fan of both Beavers, so both Beaver and Beavers.
Yeah.
And probably Beavers and Beavers.
Like Justin Bieber?
No, not Bieber. No. Or Beeper. She's not a fan of Beepers. Drug dealers and doctors. I remember that as a kid when beepers were out. It was like, nobody needs a beeper unless you're a drug dealer or a doctor. I'm like, they must have some use besides that. Like, this seems a weird thing.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Like, sir, you have a beeper. Are you a doctor? No. Oh, you steal drugs then? No. Anyway.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.